asked to be honored to participate in this memorial for Harry's Saltzgaver. I remember well the first time I met him back at the Grunion in the glory days. I was at my computer, I was working, and John Blowitz, the publisher, came up with this guy. I'd never seen him before. I didn't like the looks of him. And he was bald. I remember he was bald. And John says to me, "Pete, this is Harry." And I looked at this bald guy in front of me and I told John, "Not from where I'm sitting." And the fact that Harry rolled with that and we became friends, I thought was a testament to his character. Well, there's a lot of stories about Harry I could tell. There was one time I remember we were having a meeting and this fella comes in downstairs and they buzz through and they say, "Hey, Harry, there's this guy out in the lobby to see you." And Harry says, "I don't know any guys." And they say, "Well, he's standing outside and he says he won't go away unless you come out." So Harry comes down and he yells at the guy for a minute, and then the guy comes in the door and it looks like he's going to serve him some papers or shoot him. We don't know which, and frankly, we don't care. We're just glad we had the camera there that day. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a subpoena. Which wife is this? But wait a minute. It turns out it's not that at all. It was a note of a personal nature. And he came prepared with a song. It was awkward. It was really awkward. In the end, I wish I hadn't brought the camera that day. But as long as I was there and he was there, I let it run. And anyhow, after a while, Harry gave the receptionist the high sign. There it was, right there. Call the police. Temporary restraining order. But it turned out that wasn't necessary. The guy drug Harry outside, and I thought they were going to kiss. We all thought they were going to kiss. But then something happened. They had some words that we didn't make out before we got the camera out there, and it looked like they were posing for a picture or something. Harry just looked really uncomfortable. That's why I kept filming. The entertainment factor of Harry being so uncomfortable, caught in this obvious homosexual tryst. There at the office, oh my God. Was that somebody else that he was... There they are. Oh, parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say goodnight until it be ponytail. Anyhow, we eventually learned the contents of that note. It was a singing telegram.
Sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried. sunshine. He'll make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
In the end, if Harry was standing here in front of us today, instead of lying in this box before us, I would like to say to him, thank you. Thank you for all those times you took me out in the alley and said, Pete, what's going on? And I would say, everything's... He'd say, Pete, you need to slow down. And I'd look at him and wish that I could speak. And he'd light up a cigarette, so I'd go back inside. But, you know, he was always right. He always knew when I was flying off the handle. Well, I guess it was pretty obvious. I was like the tides, and Jonathan was like the moon. Every time he come around, I come crashing in. But that's a story for another memorial. Anyhow, I'd like to thank you again for asking me to participate. I'm sorry I don't have any anecdotes that are fit for a solemn an occasion as this one. Perhaps I could find a poem. I'm going to go online and look for a poem to honor our friend Harry Saltzgazer. I'd like to thank you for being asked to speak at this memorial for Harry Saltzgazer. Harry and I used to work together back at the newspaper, and when I had heard that he had passed and was asked to speak, I thought perhaps a poem would be appropriate. But I went on the internet and I looked for a poem with a Harry in the title that was not a limerick. And I was surprised at how hard it was to find. But I did find one by a gentleman named Lewis Reed. This poem is called Harry's Circumcision, and it's in memory of Harry Saltzgazer. Looking in the mirror, Harry didn't like what he saw. The cheeks of his mother, and the eyes of his father. As each day crashed around him, the future stood revealed. He was turning into his parents. The final disappointment. Stepping out of the shower, Harry stared at himself. His hairline receding, a slight overbite. He picked up the razor to begin his shaving and thought, oh, I wish I was different. I wish I was stronger. I wish I was thinner. I wish I didn't have this nose. I wish I didn't have these ears that stick out and remind me of my father. Because I don't want to be reminded at all. The final disappointment. Harry looked into the mirror and thought of Vincent van Gogh, and with a quick swipe lopped off his nose. And happy with that, he made a slice where his chin was. He always wanted a dimple, the end of all illusion. Then, peering down straight between his legs, Harry thought of the range of possibilities. A new face, a new life. memories of the past and slit his throat from ear to ear. Harry woke up with a cough. Stitches made him wince. The doctor smiled at him from somewhere across the room. He said, "Son, we saved your life, but you'll never look the same." And when he heard that, Harry had to laugh. Although it hurt, Harry had to laugh. The final disappointment.
Skeleton, skeleton, skeleton. I love you. Skeleton, skeleton. Woo!